I have one of two scripts to read today, so let's get this over with then, shall we? Hello there everybody, this is CwapTheNintendin here, and welcome to another edition of Platinum Impressions, another End-dition, wow. End-dition, okay. Today, we are going to be talking about a game that I've had for years, but now, only last month have I decided to actually complete it. I am going to talk about No Kuni, Wrath of the Right Witch, for the DS, but I'm going to be talking about the PS3 version, because that's the version that everyone is most known with, I suppose. So, me and this game have had a healthy relationship. It was 2014 when I first caught wind of this game from a relatively well-known YouTuber called Nintendo Capri Sun, one of my two inspirations for Let's Playing. Of course, I didn't really check out most of the game except for a few bits and pieces of it, and only then I vaguely remember being like, "Holy shit, Studio Ghibli did the animations, they made your childhood weird and adorable!" So, it wasn't until 2014, or Christmas 2014 I should say, when I got my PS3 and ordered this game from Amazon, got a few hours in, and dropped it for a couple of years, and picked it up again one summer, and then got a few hours in, and dropped it, and only now in the year of June 2017 have I actually sat my ass down and played this for a few dedicated days instead of actually, doing actual recording of Let's Plays. I'm sorry, and I am also not sorry. Honestly, I have no idea what took me so long to finally, complete this game. Maybe it's because I have other games to play for YouTube, or maybe general laziness, or school, or whatever else. But, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I've had a lot of games on my backlog for plenty of years. But No Kuni is the one I've been letting collect dust for years. So, I felt it was time to kick this game out of the backlogs, since, well, compared to games I was going through at the time, like Kingdom Hearts 2, this was the victim of being stuck in the backlog for way too long. So, after all this time, was it worth? My impressions on seeing and playing through the first few hours were good. So, let's do it. As per usual with a story-driven game like this one, spoiler timestamp, because even though these videos don't go too in-depth into the plot, or the characters, or plot summaries, or whatever, or the themes, it'll be nice not to spoil for the one or two fans of the series who are genuinely interested in this game, so yeah, story time. In the town of the unoriginal name Motorville, we focus on Oliver, who looks 9 or 10 but is actually 13 because Earthbound inspiration is obvious. He and his friend Philip plan to sneak out at night because Philip made his very own car because it's an anime game and he has the smarts to do so. Oliver manages to sneak out of his house without his mother, Allie, waking up to stop him, and the two manage to unveil their car and take her out for a spin. But suddenly, a mysterious girl appears and tells Oliver not to do so because it's a bat. But, of course, Oliver dismisses it and goes with Philip anyway to take the car for the test run. During this time, Allie hears Oliver's voice calling out for help while she's asleep, and rushes out of the house to find her son. The test run of the car doesn't go well, leaving Oliver nearly drowning in the river because, well, he's 13, he obviously can swim, right? Causing Allie to rescue Oliver. They manage to make it out okay, but suddenly, in a fit of Mother 3, Allie dies from a mysterious heart attack because, well, like I said, Mother 3 and Metal Gear Solid did the heart attack thing first. To punch you in your feels. And it works. Honestly, it works again because Allie was a treasure and she was British. Because she gave birth to a boy who could only speak not British. Huh. 3 days later, Oliver is found in his room crying for his mother over this doll that his mother made for him when he was younger. But through the power of Pokemon tears, the doll comes to life and introduces himself as Drippy.
Lord of the Fairies!
Who?
That being the superficial title, of course. In a big exposition jump, Drippy explains the situation. In Drippy's world, there's this big baddie called Shadar, the Dark Djinn, who wants to bring everyone into the world of despair. Even though what he doesn't tell you is that he often seeks counsel from the Magic Council led by the White Witch, who also aims to destroy our hero as well. You see, Drippy's world and Oliver's world are connected in that each person has a soulmate, and as it turns out, Oliver's mom has a soulmate in the form of the great sage Alicia, who was captured in Shadar's soul snare, which is why Allie was axed off. If they could somehow manage to save Alicia from Shadar, then maybe, just maybe, Allie might come back to life. Even though he's reluctant at first, Oliver agrees to go to the fantasy world, and, well, he becomes a wizard. Yeah, he has to be a wizard in this game. Every childhood's dream that wasn't wishing Pokemon was real. And so, after Oliver and Drippy just so happened to find a wizard's companion book and a magic stick in the house, even though the magic stick is not really in the house, Oliver casts the gateway spell to transport the pair of them into the other world, where they start their 40 to 50 hour adventure to save the world from Shadar's evil. I honestly don't know what it is, but it honestly feels refreshing to play a long JRPG with a not too deep and complex plot. I can certainly say though that there are going to be twists at points. Most of them you probably won't see coming unless you played a lot of JRPGs, of course. I gotta give the story points for that, at least. Because, well, unlike Kingdom Hearts, where it could potentially get way too confusing by jumping back and forth between timelines, No Kuni is just sort of, you know, a little simple story about a boy who wants to save the world. A little thunk. Otherwise, it's basically a story about Oliver's journey through this world filled with great people and creative Ghibli shit. And also, speaking of the characters, honestly, it feels like the plot's weakest point, the characters. I mean, okay, here's the thing. I don't hate the characters, they're good enough. But I just wish that some of the main cast got a little bit more development time. Or at the very least, Oliver's party members got a little bit more development time. Or at least one of them, at least. Oliver is the main character, and apart from getting braver and stronger as the plot thickens, he's the polite, nice boy who says his most favorite words in the world one too many times.
Oh, is this neat? Phil, this is so neat!
You betcha!
It's so neat! Jeebers creepers.
There's another party member you get in the form of Esther, who you get a few hours into the game. And honestly, aside from her introduction and a couple of cutscenes here and there, she doesn't really get much development. She's just there for the adventure, giving her support when she can, and that's about it. Again, not bad, but more development time, please. But I can give her points for intentional verbal savagery towards the third party member, Swain, who surprisingly gets the most development time at one point. Not giving too much away. Again, without giving too much away. That was twice I said that. I'm gonna keep that in. I don't care. Again, without spoiling anything, I think the most interesting character in the story is the main villain, Shadar. Or at least the main villain throughout like 80% of the game, Shadar. I like his design. He's really cool looking, honestly. His motivation for wanting to confront Oliver and about everything else about him. He's just got this sort of air of menace around him. Plus, he's got a really cool voice, too. Oh, and also, the other main villain, the White Witch. She's also pretty cool in design and character. Also, hooray for footnotes on the PS3. Speaking of which, this game was actually a DS Japanese-only game, and before coming to the PS3. And also, the PS3 was kind enough to add the new story content after the final battle with Shadar. And most people that I come across saying that they like it, but some of them don't really like the story stuff after the final battle. So, yeah. But can I intercept this logic with lore? Okay, seriously though. I don't really think the new story content is that bad. I feel like it wraps up a lot of loose ends that the DS version failed to do so. Like, okay. If the story on the PS3 ended with the defeat of Shadar, there would be a lot of unanswered questions about certain major characters important to the overarching story. So, I can say I did enjoy the new content quite a bit. However, there is one portion of the game where you head back in time when you visit Hamlin for the first time. The cutscene doesn't really say so, but I assumed Oliver and his friends lied to the Hamlin Emperor at one point, saying that, well, you know, they're from the future, but no. According to the diary thingy, they actually, according to the diary thingy, which keeps track of your progress, they actually did go back in time. And there was really no indication aside from the mist. But I can't forgive that one portion because the Hamlin Emperor is voiced by Metalface, so I forgive everything. I honestly forgive everything. I'm too stupid. But, you know, overall, I liked the story. I liked it. I just wish that, you know, I wish that most of our major characters got, you know, the most development time, you know? You know? Right. But, No Kuni is a video game after all, and also a JRPG. So that means you got a big overworld to explore, towns to visit, and stock up on items, familiars to fight, and side quests upon side quests to complete as well. This game does this weird thing where the main mechanics of the game don't even appear until about 2 or 3 hours in. Them being, fighting with the previously mentioned familiars. These creatures are soldiers from the heart and are yours to command and to train to get stronger. So, think of it like a mix between Pokemon and certain monster recruiting JRPGs. You either take control of the humans or familiars in battle, and each familiar has their own set of abilities, whether it's the might you get for the first time that's skill with a sword, or a big bunch of bananas who hit like trucks but have very low accuracy. Pretty much every enemy in the overworld are all familiars that you can tame and raise yourself. However, you won't actually get the ability to tame familiars until Esther gets her heart-winning harp weapon. But you won't have to wait long after getting her into the party in order to, you know, get that harp. Here's the catch with catching familiars. You have to beat them up, because that's how you get your animals to love you. If you defeat a familiar you want on your side, there is a random chance that a little heart icon will appear and the hearts come out of them. Once that happens, you have to switch control over to Esther and use her Serenade ability to get them. Catching them is pretty much guaranteed, but getting them hearts to appear is just pure chance. I feel bad if you go after familiars with a 6% recruitment rate. Yeah, same goes for the side quests requiring them, by the way. Yeah, pretty much all familiars have that low of a chance of taming them, meaning that if you want a big 10-man familiar, for example, then get ready to grind. And grind, and grind, and grind. Honestly, that's the point where the game should have been more like Pokemon and have, you know, different options to catch them, rather than just, you know, beat up the familiars and then, you know, wait for your chance to actually, you know, get them. Or rather, not wait for your chance to get them, actually, but, you know, just do it. I don't know what I'm saying, but I just wish it wasn't that random chance, you know, or that low of a chance. This game is kind of guilty of grinding, considering the side quests that require taming certain familiars or grinding up for tough battles ahead. I don't know whether it's just me being underleveled compared to other playthroughs I've seen, but this game sort of has an uneven difficulty, if that makes any sense. It's pretty sad to know that the final boss didn't give me as much trouble as the old Smoky boss fight, where I must have died over 5 times before eventually felling the beast. It's just stupid. God, that was one of the most frustrating boss fights I've ever had in an RPG, period. And trust me, Kingdom Hearts 2 has plenty of frustrating boss fights in Proud Mode, which I'll get to tomorrow, by the way, wink wink. Whether I needed those superpowered glimpses that appear on the battlefield that sometimes give you a special attack to do massive damage, or just trying to defend against the boss's special attack just to get nices for more restorative glimpses that appear out of the field, like, damn, man. Just like, damn. But otherwise, some bosses took me a while to beat, while others were a cakewalk. So yeah, boss fights are uneven in difficulty, and I really don't know how to feel about that, considering that their designs are amazing, and they're too Ghibli for me, I swear to God. Oh yeah, and also, speaking of familiars, you can actually feed them in order to raise their stats. Similar to Pokemon-Ami, I think. I don't even know. If it's not battles you're doing, then it's side quests you're definitely doing as well. The inner Xenoblade in me did every side quest that I could possibly do unless I didn't feel like doing it, because it was my first time playing through. The side quests are actually very, very helpful in raising our overall abilities. You see, you have these merit cards, and you need to stamp 10 spaces on the card in order to collect the card. So by doing side quests, whether it's monster hunting or just fetching an item or doing whatever, you get stamps depending on the difficulty of the quest. And it's like I said, they range from needing pieces of heart, no, not the Zelda kind, to taming specific monsters, to finding the lost diary over and over again, damn you, Top Hat Man! And also the broken-hearted couple that appear over and over again in every town, like seriously. What? Every merit card obtained is a step closer to updating your abilities. Whether it's a completely pointless yet fun jump, experience boost, movement buffs, and even the ability to increase Oliver's max HP and NP by 100, which is actually amazing. And I did enough to get that reward, so yay. It's so worth doing the side quests I could, because I think like 75% of the total quests, not counting post-game stuff, because, well, I didn't do those, or the post-game because reasons. Honestly, my personal favorite and easiest method would be bounty hunting. Oh man, I love the bounty hunting in this game. You go over to a store in each town called Swift Solutions and see what monsters you gotta hunt. You take the bounty and find the monsters marked on a map. Kill them, and then you go back for your reward. Honestly, it's not as monotonous as you think once you gain the ability to skip travel. But then again, that's only like for the first 20-25 hours of gameplay, so you're stuck huffing it everywhere until you get that ability. And even with the movement upgrade, it can get a little tiring just walking around the world. Especially considering that, well, this is just one of those games where, you know, the big important side quests are the ones that don't have Xenoblade written all over them. Basically, you have to do the quest and then go back to the quest giver, and it's just, it's just, It also can't be helped that actions that aren't regular attacks take time to charge up. Look, I'm trying to heal everything, and then the next thing I know, Oliver is dead, and I gotta switch over to another party member. Which, thank God. No Kuni isn't really one of those games where if Oliver dies, then game over. Final Fantasy 13. Like, seriously, man, like, there were plenty of times where I got attacked while I was trying to heal. That really bugs me in RPGs, man. That really bugs me in action RPGs where I'm trying to heal yet I get dead just over and over again. Just, ugh. God. But thankfully, this is just one of those times where I didn't really mind grinding all that much in JRPGs, which is very rare for me to say, with the exception of Kingdom Hearts, so. Yeah, I like the battles. I like how you tame familiars, even though it's pure chance. And doing those side quests really do help you out a lot. Honestly, they do. Like I've been praising, Level 5 and Studio Ghibli collaborated and they made this game look beautiful. Like, I love this Ghibli-esque world. The character design and the gorgeous anime cutscenes. Just every time I see one of them, I go like, eee! I can't help it. I love Ghibli films like the Ponyos, the Kikis, and the Spirited Aways. And the everything else is just, just, like, it's like the PS3 just got its own version of Wind Waker, where it's cel-shaded, but it's a beautiful kind of shell shading, you know? So, yeah, this game looks gorgeous, man. I can't help it. It's Ghibli, man. How do you do? The music is also really good, too. It's composed by the same guy who composes most Ghibli films. And it sounds wonderful. The overworld theme, the town themes, like, each town has its own theme, and they kick a lot of ass. The battle themes, and even that one sad cutscene theme that you hear over and over again. They're all really great tracks to listen to. It's good music, man. It's good music. And I don't really have anything else to say on that part, actually. So with all that being said, I can honestly safely say that No Kuni is a gem. Like, a real gem. For being such a dirt cheap game to find nowadays, like maybe $20 if you're lucky, it's one of the best JRPGs out there on the PS3. The simple battle system works, the Ghibli world works, the characters, I love them. They're all such a joy to me. Granted, it's not up there with... Granted, it's not up there with stuff like Final Fantasy VI or Xenoblade when it comes to story. but I feel like it's effective enough and easy to follow compared to other JRPGs out there, like, just like I said, the Kingdom Hearts' or maybe possibly the Personas. Yeah. So, if you ever get the chance, and if it's ever on sale, get this game. I honestly recommend it for lovers of JRPGs in general. And I suppose if you're looking forward to Ni no Kuni 2 like I am, now's your chance to play it before it comes out in January because it got delayed. I want Ni no Kuni Toonie. I want Ni no Kuni 2 so bad. They should have honestly named Ni no Kuni 2 Ni no Kuni. Oh, man. But, yeah, Ni no Kuni. Definitely get this game if you love JRPGs. It's good. So, yeah, that's about it for my thoughts on Ni no Kuni. So, I will see you guys on next time when we talk about Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So, I will see you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. As usual for a story-driven game like this one, spoilers time. Pa. In a big expedition jump, or expedition. In a big expedition jump of... In a big exposition... I swear to God, this is gonna be an outtakes reel. Outtakes reel, baby. In a big Oliver is the main character, and apart from becoming braver and stronger as the plot thickens, he's a nice, polite boy who says his most favorite words... He's a polite, nice boy who says his most favorite words... What's the word? What's the word of the day?